got a chance to see A House of Dynamite on Netflix starring Rebecca Ferguson. Let's talk about this movie right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about House of Dynamite. I like intrigue films quite a bit, actually. So this movie is by Kathryn Bigelow. She kind of moves into this espionage, well, not really espionage, but more a governmental type films. Like she did Hurt Locker with Renner. I think that was before Renner was even famous. I think that's what made him famous, was Hurt Locker. And Zero Dark 30 with Jessica Chastain. Strange Days was the first movie that she ever did. Zero Dark 30 was okay. I know it was up for awards and stuff like that, but it was, in my opinion, it was just okay. It was kind of slow. Hurt Locker was really good. Strange Days was just weird. But again, that was her first movie in 1995. They brought in a pretty well-rounded cast with this one, I gotta say. Probably one of the best casts that she's ever worked with on a full basis, because most of the stuff that she's done has been like, you know, 1 star here, 1 star there kind of thing. Where here she had a cast that was more well-rounded. Like here, Willa Fitzgerald had a very small role. Everybody here has a small role because of the way this film is told. Anthony Ramos is in here from Transformers. Jason Clarke is in here from, that really bad Terminator movie. But he's done some other stuff besides that. Idris Elba plays the president. We're going to talk about him. And we also have the guy from The Night Agent. And he is just always good. Greta Lee, I could have done without. We just saw her in Tron Ares. And she was miscast in here. Here she has 2 scenes in Sin and Out. She's fleeting. It's crazy. Jared Harris is also in here. He played Moriarty in the Sherlock Holmes film with Robert Downey Jr. So, again, you have just people all over the place here. And I think Moses Ingram was even in here for about 5 seconds. This was written by Noah Oppenheim, who his first film was The Maze Runner. Okay. His second film was Divergent, the last one, Allegiant or something to that effect, which was bad. And supposedly right now, he's slated to do a Sandra Bullock movie with Keanu Reeves. I guess they're getting together again. He doesn't have a large career, but he has a big one. You know, most of the films he does have had major, even Maze Runner did extremely well. And even the Divergent film was over $100 million. But he's not that great a writer, for sure. He also did Jackie or whatever else. I've never seen that. I can't tell you one way or another. So this film is about a day in the life of the defensive group of the Pentagon and throughout. Although the missile silos, all that stuff, it composites a whole bunch of different pieces of the military on the defensive mode. It is kind of tries to tell it in a different, and I hate this type of storytelling, where it goes back and tells a piece of the story again, but from a different point of view. And it doesn't even really do that in this case. Like the rubber band effect of storytelling. But it doesn't really, I don't even know what this was even about. I cannot tell you what this movie was even about. All I know is that there was a missile launched from somewhere that nobody knows, which is amazing to me that they even said, yeah, we'll just make it so nobody knows where this thing came from. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you not know? They know the trajectory of the missile, right? Because they were tracking it. So therefore, they know the point of origin based on the arc. And then they said, well, it could have come from a submarine. As soon as a submarine surfaces, they know it. In fact, I heard the Pentagon threw out a notice here that they were very unhappy with how it was portrayed because none of it was true. What I did learn was that the president can enact a nuclear strike without Congress, which I found that very interesting. I did not know that. So I got to say, like, the first 20 minutes of the film, I liked. Okay? Rebecca Ferguson was in there. She's engaging. I thought that really worked. I liked the setting. I liked the mystery of it. All that really worked. Having the guy from the night agent come in for a few split seconds. They're trying to get the president on the phone. All this stuff. I thought all of that really worked. Jason Clarke is coming in and out. There's a high tension. Willa Fitzgerald is, I guess, part of the news group. I don't know really what she was even doing. All I know is she was there. She had no impact on anything. Rebecca Ferguson, we see her son in the beginning and her husband, and she goes to work really with no sleep, and he gives her one of her dinosaurs. All that stuff was really sweet. The first 20 minutes, okay, I liked it. After that, turn this movie off. Just turn it off. As soon as Rebecca Ferguson is off the screen, she never returns. She never comes back. There is no character arcs to this film whatsoever. Of all the films that Kathryn Bigelow has done, this is the absolute worst. This movie is a piece of shit. This movie is a piece of shit. And anybody who likes this thing, I want to know why. I want to know why. This is an abhorrent piece of writing. Abhorrent. How can you have a film where no characters have any arcs whatsoever? None. There isn't even an ending to the film. It just stops. It just says, okay, I'm done. And I'm out. Anyway, before we get into it any further, remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can. If you can, ring that bell, ding, ding. That would be awesome. Share this video out there so nobody sees this piece of shit. And on top of that, check out the stuff that I've written. You can go to Amazon.com and just type my name in. There's also a link in the description below. You'll see my 4-novel quadrilogy. It is a sci-fi epic adventure called Destiny Aurora. It was made into a board game, an RPG, a graphic novel. It's also on Audible. We have a husband-wife team, so it's got some comedy in it. It's got some action. It's awesome. Definitely check that out. The VO artist did a really good job. Also, my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch. If you like Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings, we have magic, we have Griffin Riders, we have a whole bunch of stuff. We have witches, we have armies. It's awesome. Definitely check that out. And on top of that, you'll see Fairy Tales of Terror with Killer Captain Hook, Psycho Cinderella. They're being chased around New York City by Tiger Lily from Neverland, who's a badass. And we were fully funded on Kickstarter. And now we are going into late pledge. I am going to be retiring certain covers. So if you'd like to grab one of those, we both have digital, and I sign the covers as well if you get a hard copy. But anyway, I'm also working on an audio version. I'm kind of doing like a little movie and a graphic kind of thing. It's going to be awesome. Also, if you'd like to know anything more about film, I am doing a filmmaking masterclass this Saturday and Sunday. It's very inexpensive. It is going to cover writing, structure, the 3-act structure, actually how to structure the script itself. On top of that, scheduling, budgeting, everything on the business side you need to know, how to put a project together for investors. We're going to do crowdfunding. We're going to talk about distribution, all that stuff. If you'd like to know anything else about filmmaking, I'm going to be touching on everything from A to Z. You can go to Eventbrite. It's called Magic, Making Movie Magic. There's also a link description below for the Eventbrite page. Again, it's very inexpensive, so definitely join us this weekend. And happy Halloween coming up as well. All right, so let's jump back into this piece of shit. So I don't know what Kathryn Bigelow was even thinking by making this film. I don't know what she was trying to prove. I don't know what the budget was because Netflix didn't publicize it. But if I was going to guess, this movie was like 60 to 70 million dollars. That's what I would guess. They did not. The amount of cast here is crazy, and she's not cheap. The sets weren't cheap, but that's what I would guess. Anywhere from 60 to 70 million dollars. But $1 was too much for this film. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I can't really go into spoilers because there's no spoilers to give. You never find out who fired the missile. You never know. And all they do is talk. All these guys are talking. They get on the phone, which I don't think you're even supposed to do, with their family to tell them what's going on. Even the president gets on the phone with his wife and tells her what's going on. And she's not even in the country. I was confused by the whole damn thing. All these people are leaking classified information. The rocket or the missile is supposed to be launched at Chicago. So Chicago's supposed to be wiped out. We never see that at all. We never see any repercussions of that. We never even see if it really happens. It's just nothing. It is just nothing. This is a nothing film. It's just a whole bunch of people talking. Kathryn Bigelow said, hey, we got $60, $70 million. Let's get some friends together. We'll just have them all talk. It'll be awesome. Somebody tell me the point. Tell me the point of this film. And then he got, Greta Lee, they called her up and said, hey, is Korea able to launch? She says, yes. That's the end of her. She's gone. We never see her again. Then the guy who played Moriarty there, Jared Harris, he calls up his daughter and they had a conversation. Nothing. There's nothing there. We never see her again. We never saw her before. Every time there's like a little story piece, that's it. Don't look for anything else. And the guy from The Night Agent, his wife is pregnant, and she's the one from Star. I haven't seen her in forever, from the TV show. And I think she's pregnant, but works also with the government. And she sees him being let out. That's it. We never see her again. This is so awful. And I love Idris Elba, but he is not presidential material at all. At all, man. He was wrongly casted here completely. He was playing it off. He didn't play it like stiff, like most of the presidents that we see are almost kind of like regal in a way, like Morgan Freeman, right? When Morgan Freeman plays the president, he demands respect when he walks into the room. He's the president, right? This Idris Elba, no. No, man. His whole demeanor, he didn't change any of it. He just was playing himself, playing the president. And if you want to see a really, let's just stick with black presidents on film, okay? The best black president, I think even better than Morgan Freeman, was Dennis Haysbert. In the first two seasons of 24, he was amazing. Amazing. He even signed on to one of my projects that I never got funded. I would have voted, if he was really a president, I would have voted for that guy. His whole demeanor, the way he handled everything was so professional. He was very thoughtful in everything that he did. Everything was calculated. Idris Elba did not come off like that at all. Way miscast. Way miscast. I was kind of hoping he would leave. I'm like, I can't even buy this at all. I can't buy it. On a scale from 1 to 0, how could he even turn this script in? I don't even understand how you turn a script like this in and how you get tens of millions of dollars behind it. What kind of a deal with the devil did these people make? That Netflix just said, yeah, baby, make it rain. What the hell? They had a huge red carpet for this. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is amateur hour as far as the writing's concerned. And Bigelow was like, yeah, this is going to be amazing, baby. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, I am giving this movie a 2. Now, you guys have seen all my other reviews. There's some bad movies that I put at the top of the list. But, and I'll give movies that have a lower production value higher grades because there was some thought that into it. There was some passion that went into it. Here, there's just nothing. There's just nothing. Outside of Rebecca Ferguson's piece in the first 15, 20 minutes, there is just nothing here. All right? Watch the first 20 minutes with her in it. Just turn it off. Because you've seen the whole movie from there. There's nothing else that happens in the rest of the 2 hours that adds on to her piece of the story. Nothing. And she's never seen again. Just awful. Just awful. Anyway, if you've seen it and you love it, I need to know why. I need to know why. Because I'm seeing like ads like 5 stars and stuff like that pop up. I'm like, you're out of your ever loving. You're out of your ever loving, man. I'm sitting there watching going, this can't be it. This can't be it. Anyway, that's it for me. I can't talk about this piece of shit anymore. I feel bad that the cast was even in here. This is going to do nothing for Kathryn Bigelow's career, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can't subscribe, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. Check out my stuff on Amazon. Also, check out Fairy Tales of Terror. I am going to be retiring certain covers, so definitely jump in on that. Go to fairytalesofterror.com. Also, if you'd like to join me this weekend and learn some stuff about filmmaking, I'd love to have you. Again, it's dirt cheap, and we're going to learn a lot. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to have full conversations and all that stuff. About my career and my 19 years of being a line producer. All right, that's it for me, guys, and have an awesome week. All right, bye-bye.